If you're like me and my family, you're one of the 77% of the households in the U.S. that owns a pet. Thinking about moving, whether across town or across the country? Today, I would like to give you a few tips on moving with pets right after this. Hello, I'm Anthony George of Remax Syntex here in Waco, Texas. Each week I put together videos pertaining to Waco, McLennan County and the surrounding areas, or something pertaining to real estate. If you like my content, please consider clicking the subscribe button or the little bell to be notified each Monday as I put out new content. Today I want to speak about what it's like to move with pets and what moving means to them. First thing you need to consider when choosing a new home is the space and area that you're moving to appropriate for them. Some areas and neighborhood associations have certain breeds that they don't allow in. I'm not here to advocate that certain breeds are more dangerous than others. It's just the perception by some people. Also, not only dogs, but think about cats. If you have an outdoor cat, think about the area that it may be roaming freely during the day and during the night, and the perils that could come to them if you move to your new home. Also, climate can affect your animal. I know French bulldogs, or Frenchies as they're better known, have a hard time breathing in a more humid climate. So even considering the area or the part of the country that you're moving to is something to consider before planning your move. Think ahead before moving day. If you're moving across town, your home's already picked out, and you have dogs, think about going over during the day or of an evening and walking around the neighborhood, walking around the block, up and down the road in front of the home, just so that they can get used to the new smells and the new things in the new area. So that when you do move in, they're not wanting to get out and explore like my dog. Once she gets out, oh, help us all. She runs for at least 15 minutes before she comes home because she likes to go say hi to all the other dogs in the neighborhood that are fenced in their backyards. If you're moving across country or even 30, 40 miles down the road, considering making an appointment with your current veterinarian. Get all the records for your animal. That way, once you established yourself in the new neighborhood, you have everything that's ever been done or delivered, such as vaccinations to your pet. You have a record of all of those from your previous veterinarian ready to go once you find a new vet. Also, veterinarians belong to a lot of different organizations. They may be able to refer someone in your new home or new environment to where you can walk in and they already have a relationship because your vet has already sent a note ahead saying, this is what I know about these animals. But think ahead, try visiting your current veterinarian before moving to another area of the country. Are you going to be moving by car? If so, animals such as cats may not be receptive to the carrier and may give you a hard time. So if you have a cat or a dog that isn't used to going into a carrier, try getting them acclimated to a carrier weeks before your planned trip across town. Some considerations for moving day. If you're just moving across town and you have a dog that likes to be in the middle of everything, consider putting them with a friend or someone in your old neighborhood for the day if they'll watch out for them. That way you can go get the home prepared before moving them across town and having them, like I know my dogs would be, in the middle of every box that you try to move. Every time you try to take 2 steps, you're tripping over your animal. Try to make it the best for them as well as for you, maybe leaving them behind until the next day, if at all possible. If you're moving across country, however, this may not work. If you have more than 1 or 2 in your family, maybe consider having one of your children be designated pet sitter for the day, where all they do is take care of the animal instead of helping move boxes and getting involved, keeping them away, keeping them playing, staying with them. That way they have something familiar to attach themselves to for the day. And as with any pet, just like the day that you brought them home, considering if you didn't have them from a litter, which most of us haven't, consider moving them into a small portion of the new home before introducing them to the whole new area. Let them have time to get acclimated and find their way in certain smaller parts of the home, then introduce more rooms and more rooms to them. I know that sometimes when you move animals and they find new houses, some very adverse conditions can happen if you haven't planned ahead or thought it through. My sister, who's always had cats, had a cat for 5 years, moved from St. Louis down to Florida. When they moved, they just moved the cat, not thinking about anything, not trying to find any information. Basically, the cat went from being a very loving cat that was always out and with the family, and once they got to Florida, basically the food would be just gone from the dish, the litter box would fill up, but the cat hid the whole time they were in that home. And I think it was part to do with not being acclimated to the new home. Also, remember to update all of your pet's records, not only with the veterinarian, but if you have the pet microchipped, make sure that you log in to the microchip company. Put in your new address. That way, if your pet gets separated from you and your family, your new address will have been updated, or maybe new phone numbers. But make sure you go in and update everything to do with your pet so that if something would or should happen, you would be able to find them and relocate them and reunite them with your family. If you like this content, please consider clicking subscribe and the little bell to be notified each Monday as I put out new content. If there's anything that you would like to know about real estate, the Waco market, or just plans around the house, please let me know in the comments, and I'd be more than happy to try to share any information that I can with you